Grand Rising, beloveds. My name is Sheena with the Way of Namaste, and today I wanted to come on and drop in and share a Celtic cross tarot reading. Today I am working with the Modern Witch Tarot Guide by Lisa Sturrell, and we are navigating Gene Key 47. This is the shadow of oppression, the gift of transmutation, and the siddhi or the divine essence of transfiguration. For me, whenever I see this in a hologenetic profile, or I feel into its essence as we navigate through it, it's the witch, it's the alchemist. I deeply feel it as the wisdom keeper within us. So this oppression, this is the heavy weight of our minds, the mental chatter, the loops, the guilt, the suffering, those belief systems that can feel inescapable. It's the illusion that we're trapped. We feel oppressed. We are the victim of our circumstances. Many of us may have experienced lifetimes as the witch, being oppressed and feeling the exile wound when we want to share our voice, but maybe our throat closes up, or we get an overwhelming feeling of anxiety, afraid to be seen. This is a very real part of our collective tapestry. The fear of being persecuted, of being exiled, of being killed. This is the gift of transmutation. So this karma is our dharma. If we feel this witch wound, especially if we have strong feelings around that exile wound, this is our karma to uncoil. This karma is really, truly coiled around the base of our spine. So when we uncoil it, we unpack those limiting beliefs and those stories, and we begin to rewrite them. We change them. This is the transmutation. So through facing and embracing our suffering with presence, the raw weight of oppression begins to alchemize. Our pain becomes the fuel for our insight, and despair becomes the compost for our wisdom to flow through. At the highest level, at the siddhic space, at the highest octave, every shadow reveals its light. So transfiguration is the evolution that we are not separate, nor have we ever been. We are these luminous beings that come here in disguise. It is our soul's resurrection, seeing life through the eyes of grace. We understand that before we took these flesh suits, we made soul contracts. We said, I'm going to go in and I'm going to play this character. And somebody else is going to go in and play another character. And you're going to weave a story together. And then in another lifetime, maybe you switch roles. The mother becomes the daughter. The son becomes the father. And so on and so forth. So this transfiguration is also the pattern interrupt, the cycle breaker, the one that breaks out of the molds. So what can feel like our greatest burden sometimes can be those family dynamics or those really divided organizations, communities around us that can make us feel separate. And for many of us, this is an invitation to allow it to become the force that awakens our radiance, that awakens us into the highest expression of who we came here to be. So that's just a little bit about the energies that we are collectively navigating right now. There's big stories on the news right now. We can very clearly see oppression in the collective. Let's take a breath together, breathing in and out. Let's do that again, breathing in and out. So today, I invite us to a prayerful space. Before I share this reading, I invite us to open up into this field of prayer. If it feels in alignment, you might like to soften your gaze or close down your eyes. You may like to place a hand over your body, your heart, your womb space, or just resting gently on your lap. Beloved source of all, we gather here in devotion, calling upon the light of truth to guide our way. As we enter this sacred space, we honor the shadow of oppression, knowing it's only the cocoon for our wings. We invite the alchemy of transmutation, that every heaviness may return to wisdom. As we open to the city of Transfiguration, that we may see ourselves and one another as radiant reflections of the divine. We ask you now to align us now with the highest good, that this reading may be medicine, and that our words may be blessings. We ask that our hearts may remember here and always that we are already whole. So it is, and so it ever shall be. Taking another breath in through the nose, maybe out through the mouth with a gentle sigh. So here we go. We begin our Celtic Cross Tarot reading right at the heart of the matter, and it's with the Three of Cups. So at the center is joy, celebration in community, in sisterhood. Even in the midst of heaviness, Spirit reminds you that your essence is meant to gather and uplift. Love multiplies when it's shared, and this gets to be your medicine right now. So allow the joy in, allow the song in, and the fellowship to be the chalice that carries you. Let's go ahead and take another breath. Our challenge, or our opportunity, as I like to say, this week comes forward through the Page of Cups. This is the tender child of the heart that invites innocence, wonder, vulnerability. Our opportunity this week is to believe again in magic. I know that we've been disappointed. I know that we've been heartbroken. And this is an opportunity to allow our heart to stay open. To stay open to playfulness, to be open to synchronicity, and unexpected blessings. So, in the midst of heartbreak, can we go against our natural tendency to close down our hearts and actually, bravely, courageously choose to keep it open? To invite in the innocence that comes by staying open-hearted. So where we're coming from in the past is the Star card. So we're coming from a deep season of healing, and renewal flows into this reading. The star has been your guide. It's the hope that we have after devastation. It's the faith in your soul's greater story. So you've been watered by divine promise and washed in cosmic grace. We just had that beautiful lunar eclipse. So what we're conscious of right now is the Seven of Wands. So on the surface, you may feel like you must defend your ground, standing firm for your truth. This is the part of you that resists oppression. This is the part of you that says, I will not be diminished. I will not be silenced. This is your conscious stance of resilience. All of us get to choose right now how we respond when we see heartbreak, when we see atrocity, when we see destruction and what feels like pure evil on our planet. And we get to be brave enough to face it, beginning in our own consciousness and our own psyche. Where do we go to war with ourselves? Is it when we look in the mirror? Is it when we get on the scale? Is it after we've finished a meal? Or we're tucking ourselves into sleep, thinking about the unfinished parts of our to-do list? Where do we act as the oppressor, punishing ourselves for not being enough? Because right now, the part of us that's fighting is the aspect of ourselves that knows deeply, cellularly, that we are enough. And says no more to even the micro messages that you tell yourself that make you believe that you're not enough. We are choosing to break free from being victimized. And it starts with ourselves. It starts with treating ourselves more kindly. Choosing to putting on our running shoes and going for a run because we love the feeling of the oxygen in our lungs and the sounds of the birds while we walk through or run through our neighborhood. This is why we get up and we move our bodies. It's not because we hate ourselves and we need for it to be different. Because that is the shadow of oppression. That is the war internally that becomes reflected to us externally. So as we are becoming conscious of the ways that we have oppressed ourselves, we're breaking the cycles. We're breaking free from the old stories. This is transmutation. We're telling a new story, writing a new narrative about who we truly are. What's coming up for us in the future is the Chariot. A decisive movement forward approaches. And it's not just momentum, but it's victory born from alignment. The Chariot is will when it's harnessed with love. It's discipline when it's flowing with spirit. You are being carried right now into a destiny that requires both surrender and sovereignty. Both aspects, all aspects of yourself to show up. You know, the Chariot is being moved through life. It's not holding on to the reins. It's trusting in spirit to lead the way, to guide the path. So what's coming up for us in the unconscious realm is the Nine of Swords. Let's take another deep breath in place your hand on your heart. Let's take another breath. Let's take the deepest breath that you've taken all day long, breathing in and allowing that air to travel all the way to the perineum, the base. Maybe allowing a smile to wash over the face if it does so naturally. And as you exhale, maybe you just set the intention to let something go. You can do that a couple times in your own rhythm, in your own breath. But what this card shows us is that beneath the surface is fear, sleepless nights, the shadow of despair. This is the very weight of this week's oppression. It's the heavy weight of all of this mental suffering. Our ancestors were never exposed to the things that we have been exposed to. The news stories, the social media, the programs that are running becomes overwhelming, overstimulating. Yet here, even here, lies the seed for transmutation. Because it's that very pressure that gives birth to revelation. Let's take another breath in and out. So our querent this week, this is how we are viewing the situation. And it's the strength card. So you show up as strength herself. Not force, but grace. Not domination, but compassionate power. And this is your true face. Someone who is gentle yet courageous. Here in the imagery, she is taming the lion with love. She's got her hand right in the mouth. In the Modern Witch deck, she's got one hand right on the third eye. Taming this wild beast with her authority, with her quiet, enduring strength, which is sometimes just presence. Our environment right now is the King of Cups. You are surrounded by stabilizing emotional presence. A figure within or around you who embodies wisdom and compassion. The King of Cups offers steady waters, reminding you that mastery of emotions creates a safe container for your gifts. When we give ourselves the space and the grace to feel it all, we purify our chalice, we create meaningful relationships with others, we begin to value authenticity, and then we receive more of it. The more we give, the more we get back. This is the power, the momentum of this beautiful frequency of authenticity, which is even more powerful than the frequency of love, because it bears all. Our hopes and our fears this week is the Three of Pentacles. You long for collaboration, for shared creation, and for some support, yet you also fear not being fully seen or valued in your work. The dance here is trusting that the right co-creators will honor your vision. Here you get to choose if you will or will not compromise. And what does compromising look like? And what does perseverance look like? What does saying goodbye to someone that doesn't see your vision look like? Maybe to open doors for some others that do. So this week is really showing up as our outcome in the Five of Cups. So here she's got 3 cups face down, and she's got 2 cups that are still upright. She's facing the water with her feet on the ground and the cityscape in the background. She has options if she has the perspective to see these 2 cups that are still upright without focusing too much energy on the 3 cups that have spilled over. So this week, can you sit with your grief without becoming consumed by it? Love is not lost. This card is an invitation to honor what has spilled while choosing to turn toward what still remains. Loss transfigures into wisdom. So throughout this reading, I can certainly feel the threads through this week's gene key. The 9 of Swords and the 5 of Cups mirrored that weight of despair and grief that shows up in the collective. This is that heaviness of the shadow that all of us are feeling, and all of us are transmuting from within us. We're all taking on a portion of it. This gift of transmutation comes through in the Chariot card, bringing us forward momentum to move through it. Also the Strength card, reflecting the alchemy of how we harness pain into purpose, how we tame fear into power, how we press on and we move forward. This city of transfiguration, we could see that in the 3 of Cups and also through the star, showing us this luminous outcome that's still available, that's always available. Even through suffering, light shines. Community gathers. Joy still overflows. Transfiguration is not escape, but seeing life radiant through sorrow. So this morning, I got to be on a beautiful dragon virtual call in this divine sanctuary, and we started with a dance party. Before we got into this beautiful community reflection, we got to dance it out, we got to shake it out together. We got to transmute this energy of heartbreak that we may all have felt before our call and outside of our time together, but we got to alchemize it first thing into bliss, back into joy, through our radiance of just shaking it out, moving it through us, not letting it get stuck on us. That's our gift. That's our invitation this week, to be getting into our bodies. This is Virgo season. It's an earth season where we become even more mindful of how we're treating our bodies, how we're exercising our mind, our body, our spirit. Are we taking time out to unplug, to come into silence, to meditate, to clear out? I know I love to clear out on my yoga mat and through stream of consciousness writing every day, making sure that I get to. It's the most holy part of my day because it's a promise that I made to myself. It's a contract. No exceptions. I will show up for myself. I will create this time to alchemize whatever stories I may have been holding on to, gets to come out onto the page, gets to come out of me, gets to be alchemized instead of getting stuck on me. Let's go ahead and take another deep breath in and out. Invitation to move your body, love like you love yourself, to nourish your body this week through what you're eating, through what you're consuming, through what you're watching, through what you're listening to. Treat your temple like you love yourself. Know that even in the night of the soul, you are being remade. Know that your tears are not wasted. They are the waters of transmutation. From oppression rises strength. From your grief comes our collective grace. You are the chariot moving forward. You are the star who is guiding others. The priestess of love unveiling epiphany. What was heavy becomes light. What was broken becomes holy, becomes whole. I'm sending you so much love, so much light. Namaste.